In the sprawling, marble-clad streets of ancient Rome, power was the ultimate currency. It built empires, crowned empires, and destroyed lives in the blink of an eye. But beneath the veneer of glory and conquest, Rome harbored secrets far darker than any battlefield, secrets whispered in the shadowed halls of the Palatine Hill, stories of obsession that twisted love into a grotesque spectacle of horror. This is not a myth. This is the story of an emperor who, driven by grief and madness, sought to resurrect the dead, and the innocent boy who became the tragic vessel for his delusion. The year is 62 AD. The Empress Poppea Sabina, a woman of intoxicating beauty and ruthless ambition, held Emperor Nero in the palm of her hand. Her influence was absolute, her power second only to his. She was the sun around which his world revolved. Then, in 65 AD, tragedy struck. The accounts are conflicting, stained by political intrigue. Some say it was an accident, a fatal illness, but the most chilling rumor, the one that echoed through the Senate and the streets, was that Nero himself, in a fit of rage, kicked his pregnant wife, ending her life and that of their unborn child. The official story was one of profound imperial grief. Nero was inconsolable. The empire mourned with him. He granted Poppea a lavish state funeral and declared her a goddess. But behind the public displays of sorrow, a private madness was taking root. Nero's grief curdled into a dark, desperate obsession. He couldn't accept her death. He needed her back. And so his gaze fell upon the city. Searching for a ghost, it was in the labyrinthine corridors of the imperial court that he found him. A young boy named Sporus. The resemblance was said to be uncanny. He had the same delicate features, the same ethereal grace that had once captivated Nero in Poppea. To the emperor, lost in his despair, Sporus was not a person. He was a second chance, a flawless reflection of his lost love. A chilling plan began to form in Nero's mind, a plan that would defy nature, morality, and the gods themselves. Nero ordered the unspeakable. Sporus was taken, and in a brutal, horrifying act, he was castrated. The emperor's goal was grotesque in its simplicity: to halt the boyish transition into manhood, to forever preserve the feminine features that reminded him of Poppea. He then forced Sporus to wear the empress's clothes, her jewelry, and even called him by her name. He was no longer Sporus. He was Nero's Sabina. This was not love. It was a macabre performance, a living effigy born from an emperor's fractured mind. The court was forced to play along. A grand wedding ceremony was held. Nero, the emperor of Rome, married Sporus, a boy he paraded as his resurrected wife. He demanded Sporus be addressed as Empress and afforded all the honors due to Poppea. Imagine the terror of this young boy, stripped of his identity, forced into a role he never chose, a prisoner in a golden cage. The Roman historian Cassius Dio wrote that as Nero kissed his new bride, a courtier grimly remarked, "It would have been well for mankind had Nero's father had such a wife." But Nero's reign of terror was destined to crumble. In 68, facing revolts and abandoned by his own guards, the emperor's power evaporated. Declared a public enemy by the Senate, he fled Rome and ultimately took his own life. His final words were, "What an artist dies in me, but what of sport?" Freedom did not bring him peace. He was passed from one powerful man to another, a beautiful, tragic prize. He was taken by nymphidious Sabinus, who also treated him as a wife, and later by others, who would briefly become emperor. Sporus's life was a testament to the brutal whims of the powerful. His identity, his body, his very existence had been shaped by others' desires. The final act of his tragedy came under Emperor Vitellius. The new ruler planned a cruel public spectacle to force Sporus to reenact the rape of Persephone in the gladiatorial arena for the entertainment of the Roman mob. For Sporus, this was a final, unbearable humiliation. Rather than endure it, the boy who had been made into an empress, a ghost, and a plaything, found the only escape left to him. He took his own life. His story is a chilling reminder that in the shadow of absolute power, the most terrifying monsters are often the ones who wear a crown. Thank you for joining me on this dark journey into Roman history. If you found this story compelling, please like this video and subscribe for more tales from the shadows of the past.